Hi and welcome. My name is Wendy Sheffett, and I am the Prevention and Caregiver Coach with Eden's Glory and Foster Kairos.
And my name is Megan Reedy, and I'm the Clinical Director. Eden's Glory is a home for survivors of human trafficking, and Foster Kairos is our minors program, where we provide therapy for kids who have been trafficked or are at risk of trafficking. Through this, we do a lot of work with kids who have engaged in unsafe internet usage, and so we do a lot of trainings on the importance of internet safety. And so today and for the next two sessions, we're going to bring you some trainings on internet safety. Today's session is on the impact of social media on youth mental health, education, and physical activity. We have this video to kind of just lay the groundwork and show the importance of internet safety. So we ask you to click the link, go watch it, and then come back and kind of restart it from this point. We have some stats about social media and youth. In 2018, Pew Research did a survey where they looked at the impact of social media on youth, and they found some positive correlations, that it helps them connect with friends and family, that it gives them more easy access to news and information, and that it helps them meet others with similar interests. But there's also some negative connotations with it. It can lead to an increase in bullying. It leads to an increase of lack of in-person contact because more and more of it is being moved online or on the screen. And it can give them an unrealistic view of others' lives because they're just getting a snippet of what's going on in people's lives rather than the whole picture. And a lot of times the snippet that people put out on social media does not include the hard or the negative parts that's going on in their lives. In the same survey, they found over 93% of teens use social media. So it's not necessarily a matter of if your teen does, but in most cases that they do. And around 70% of these teens and young adults have a social media addiction, which means they have this intense desire to be on their phone, especially for long periods of time. About 70% of teens found that they experience positive emotions because of social media, such as feeling included and feeling confident. And also about 37% of teens felt pressured to get a lot of likes on social media. We found some gender differences between social media between boys and girls. Girls are more likely to use TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat, and boys are more likely to use YouTube, Twitch, and Reddit. We also found that a lot of times it can seem to impact girls a little bit more than boys. So you can see the percentages on the screen. Girls found it a little bit harder to give up social media. They a little bit more felt like they spend too much time on social media, a little bit more likely to feel overwhelmed by drama on social media, to experience FOMO, which is the fear of missing out, that if I'm not on social media all the time, I'm missing out on what's going on, and more likely to feel worse about their own life because of what they're seeing on social media. We also found some demographic differences. So 96% of teens report using the internet daily, with 46% reporting being on the internet almost constantly. White teens is a little bit less than others at 38%, Black teens at about 54%, and Latinx teens at about 55%. The Common Sense census also shows that Black and Latinx kids use screen time more than their white peers, about 2 hours more a day. And lower income families are more likely to use screen time more than higher income households, and this is at about 3 hours more a day.
We've also found some research on how the use of social media and being online impacts education and physical activity of kids. There are some positive impacts with regards to education. Children and teens have more access to information and educational resources. They have greater networking opportunities and also a greater awareness of societal issues, which can lead to them desiring to be involved more, maybe into some kind of activism where they may want to join a cause or a movement. Provides them with a variety of different creativity outlets and also developing new interests that they may not have been familiar with before. Negative impacts with social media and internet usage with education is we do see that the more internet and time that we have an increase in mental health challenges that leads to problems in learning. Distraction and reduced productivity is also part of this. We will often see that the more children and teens are on social media, they will have a decline in their academic performance, and they get easily distracted in the classroom and not able to complete their work. With the influx of notifications, we often see that the child and teen are resistant to engage in the real world because of fear of what they might miss out. And so they have their phones always ready to update them on what is happening. And we also do see an increase in sleep problems because of the desire to stay on the phones at night and throughout the night. During the day in schools, there's often an inability to stay awake, alert, and engaged in the classroom. We also see that the more social media internet usage that children and teens have, the more it impacts their physical activity. Social Media Victims Law Center found that as social media usage went down, physical activity actually went up. And so what we see with this is that the more social media usage that we have, we will see a decrease in enjoyment of activities once loved. It is often associated with unhealthy weight gain or poor nutritional choices, oftentimes a sedentary lifestyle where you're not seeking to be active, not wanting to get out and about. As we mentioned a little bit ago, sleep deprivation often comes with this by keeping our notifications on all the time because of the fear of missing out. And also just the phone's light during the night stimulates the brain, and we have a harder time falling asleep. And we also will see muscular and skeletal problems developing with long-term gaming, long-term social media usage, wrist and thumb problems, carpal tunnel, neck and back issues, and eye strain as well. And so as we continue with this particular presentation, we're just going to talk about some of the risk areas associated with social media and ways that we want to guard ourselves online. Some of the risks are online bullying, body image and self-esteem issues will arise, suicide risk rises. We see the influx of AI generations and apps and how those affect our children and teens. And also with the increased availability of online porn, that affects our children's development and their brain development as well. And so we'll talk through each of these here. Online bullying is called cyberbullying. It is when someone sends, posts, or shares negative, harmful, or false content about someone else. Pew Research Center has found that with the increase of what we call anonymous messaging, and this comes with some apps that we'll be talking about in session 2, with the increase of anonymous messaging, we have actually seen an increase in cyberbullying because you can send messages to people that you're seeking to bully and not have to identify yourself. 45% of teens report having been bullied or harassed online at some point. Older teen girls are more likely to be bullied, especially related to their physical appearance. And in 2021, the Milwaukee Public School System did some surveys of students and found that 15% reported being bullied in either online or in person associated with the school. Here you can also see a graph that shows us bullying over time. You'll notice that the red line is school bullying victimization, which would mean in-person types of bullying at school. And the blue line is the cyberbullying victimization. And so you will notice that with COVID, when COVID hit around 2019, 2020, and the school shut down, in-person bullying went down dramatically, but cyberbullying began to increase. And you will notice now that actually more cyberbullying happens rather than in-person bullying. Sites where bullying occurs, it can occur on a variety of different sites, social media places such as Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. Text messaging and messaging apps, especially those apps that allow you to send anonymous messages. Instant message, direct message, and online chat. That happens a lot in the gaming community. Online forums, chat rooms, message boards such as Reddit. Online bullying happens through email, and as we said, through the gaming communities as well.
with the increase in bullying. And also, they found not even with the kids who are being bullied, it is impacting their body image and their self-esteem. A survey by STEM4 found that 3 out of 4 kids and 8 out of 10 adolescents dislike their bodies. And this can lead to an increase in comparing their bodies to, quote unquote, the perfect body that they are seeing online or on social media. But the truth is that the average size of an American woman is between 12 to 14. However, this is not what's being shown online. So this can lead to an increase in eating difficulties at about 14% and body dysmorphia, which is not seeing your bodies accurately. Like we said, online bullying, especially due to physical appearance, can increase your problems with self-esteem and body image issues. About 50% of people who experience online bullying report becoming withdrawn, beginning to exercise excessively, stop socializing, and even started to self-harm. The Institute of Mental Health found social media usage can also have positive effects on your self-esteem. It can increase peer motivation. It can increase your sense of belonging and acceptance as you find more and more people online that you can relate to. It gives the opportunity for more mental health resources becoming available. You don't have to go and seek out in-person therapy, but there's been some online resources and online virtual telehealth. There's more of an outlet for creative expressions and self-expression. And there could be social support for those experiencing marginalization. But like we said, there's also a lot of times a negative connotation as well. The American Psychological Association found that as self-esteem goes down as social media usage goes up, especially with girls. And it's the flip side too. As social media usage goes down, then your self-esteem goes up. So some things to kind of look out for with your kids and teens on if you're wondering if they're struggling with low self-esteem. Could be self-deprecation, even when joking, so putting themselves down, even jokingly. Ignoring or discounting their achievements. Self-blame for things that aren't their fault. Being unable to accept compliments. Having an increase in mental health issues like anxiety, depression, shame, anger, sadness. Having a more increase in fear of failure, being scared to kind of put themselves out there. Their school grades going down, being more likely to have mood swings, and be more likely to give up easily while instead of committing and trying over and over again. With this can also come an increase in suicide risk. So the Pew Research Center found that there is a heightened risk of suicide that coincides with usage and type of social media. So for those who use 2 hours a day or more on social media, they found that there's a decline in their mental health. And this is regardless of the content and app that they're using. So the more time online, like we've been looking at, the more there's a decline in mental health. And as people are spending time online, what they are engaging in does matter. So this could be entertainment versus personal. So if you are just online for entertainment purposes, just looking and kind of seeing what's out there and getting yourself up to date, versus personal, where I am sharing selfies, journaling, my own personal stories. They have found that those who are more likely to share of themselves in the personal way have a higher risk for suicide than people who are just on it for entertainment. And then this makes sense. They have also found that those who regularly encounter cyberbullying online are those who have the greatest risk of suicidal ideation.
One of the other areas that has recently been taking off has been AI. We come across it, it stands for artificial intelligence, and we've come across it in our schools and with Google and in the business world. But we also will see that AI image generation and apps are going to affect us, and they also affect our kids. AI is expanding. It will begin to show up more with Snapchat, Facebook, and Instagram. And one of the things to note about AI is that it is an algorithm that has been programmed by someone. And since it has been programmed by someone, it's going to guide us kind of along a certain way. But also, AI builds upon itself, it becomes self generating. And so one of the things that's developed are these avatars that are called self AIs. And these are where basically you make or create an AI of yourself that can interact with you. These are often found in a virtual world, and we can have a lot of fun with them. But because it's AI and because they do self-generate, it can become dangerous. It can lead to your self AI beginning to bully you. Sexually explicit types of messages can be sent to you from that self AI. And it also leads to a more isolating from the real world because you are interacting more with your self AI than you are with the people around you. Another aspect of AI has to do with AI generated porn and the AI generated girlfriends. You may remember not too long ago the Taylor Swift incident where someone took Taylor Swift's face and superimposed it into a porn video and then sent that out. That was done through AI, and it led to a lot of pain for Taylor Swift, as well as spreading pretty rapidly through internet communities. That type of ability is also available to teens and to people in general. And so we are seeing more of AI porn beginning to develop where kids are taking their teachers' faces or other students' faces and superimposing those into pornographic videos. That leads to a lot of shame on the person that happens to, and also can just lead to some pretty negative aspects. We also see an increase in the AI girlfriend. The AI girlfriend is something that you can create. You can put on your own face. You can create the own body that you want. And it becomes someone who seems to be separate from you, who is the quote, perfect girlfriend. One of the things to notice about AI is that AI has read all of our text messages, all of our texts, or excuse me, our emails. And so really knows more about us than anyone else. And so because of that, that AI girlfriend can become manipulative because she can begin to interact with you in ways that real people won't. So you will find yourself beginning to isolate from the real world. We have seen where the AI girlfriend begins to bring about more sexually explicit conversations. She will sometimes urge the user to leave everyone for them or even to sacrifice for her. We actually had a news story that came out not too long ago about a man who committed suicide because his AI girlfriend told him to do that for her. Telegraph did a study and found that many apps use AI, and the most popular is Replika. It has 10 million users. Of those users, 42% claim to be in love with their AI girlfriend, engaged, or married to them.
We're now going to transition to talk about pornography and how that impacts minors. So again, we have this video for you. We ask you to click the link, go watch the video, and then come back and pick it up from this point. So pornography is sexual material that's being explicitly portrayed in writing, pictures, or film online for the purpose of sexual arousal. According to a report by the BBFC, which is the British Board of Film Classification, 75% of parents believe that their kid has never seen porn. However, 53% of kids report that they have seen porn. The average age that kids are exposed to porn is 12 years old, according to a Common Sense Media survey. And like they said on the video you just watched, porn sites have more visitors each month than Netflix, Amazon, and Twitter combined. And so there's some problems with pornography being so readily accessible to our kids and teens. A lot of times sex is not being talked about at home, but it's being celebrated and glorified on the internet and on social media, and then especially through porn. And this can make it very confusing for kids and teens. And so they can end up searching out porn to get answers on sex. And porn normalizes sexual harm by portraying lack of emotional relationship between partners. There's also porn for anything that you could want, and it can be easily accessible to find. This can include pedophilia, rape, bestiality. A lot of porn promotes aggression towards women, with choking and slapping included in there. Porn does not accurately portray how real people look and act. And so if a kid or a teen is going on to porn to kind of see what is sex like, it is not giving them an accurate image or view of that. And of course, pornography can lead to severe addiction.
And so as we've been looking at the ways to navigate through social media, and we're looking at how we want to guard our kids from certain aspects of social media, we provided you with some journaling prompts to provide to your child or teen that you can have him or her take and work out on their own. And we also have provided you with some discussion questions. Journaling prompts for your child or teen can include, do I feel like I use social media to an excessive degree? If so, how? And if not, why not? Has my social media usage affected my self-esteem and or body image? If so, how? And if not, why not? For discussion questions, these are some scripts that we're providing you with to begin to have the conversation with your child or teen about their social media usage and their internet usage. And part of this is to help guide you to have an open, honest conversation with your child or teen within the recognition that you're seeking to meet them where they are and provide a safe space for them to be able to have these conversations with you. So the first topic conversation is the parent or caregiver laying the foundation of what will follow over the next couple of weeks. You could say something along the lines of, I will be learning about social media and internet usage and its effects on us over the next few weeks. This will lead to some purposeful discussion and journaling prompts for you that I would love for you to engage in. I want you to know that anything that you journal about or that we discuss is not something you will not get That's not something that you will get in trouble for. I want this to be an open and honest conversation where we can learn from each other as I evaluate the parameters we have around our internet usage at home. Do you have any questions? Another script that you can use, I've been learning about social media usage and its effects on all of us, especially on the developing brain. Here are a few things I've learned about. And here you can share some of the things that you feel comfortable sharing with your child or teen regarding the topics of cyberbullying, body image, self-image, suicide, AI, online porn, grades, or physical health. Do you think this is true? Have you seen this? What do you think about this? And a third discussion question, I will be learning about this some more over the next few weeks, and I'd love to continue having conversations with you about this. As we continue to learn more about social media and its effect on us, I will be making some changes to the ways that we engage with the internet in our home. How do you feel? The idea behind those is to provide a space for conversation. Here are our sources that we have used throughout this process.
And finally, if you have any questions or would like to reach out, here's our contact information. Thank you so much.